Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the EVERBLACK Podcast.
Hey, human skull, this is odorous from Guam.
I'm going to the Fear Factory.
This is George Corsh Runner Fisher.
This is Dez from Devildriver.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
Mike Nick from Suicide Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13.
This is Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Darcy
from Sepultura. You're listening to EVERBLACK Podcast.
All right, before we go into this episode, we just need to give a shout out to our show supporters, the brutal occult clothing brand Electric Witch, who have amazing apparel from shirts to hoodies to hats to beanies and more. Check out their full range at electricwitch.com.au and put in the code EVERBLACK for 20% off your order. Don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the EVERBLACK podcast through Spotify, iTunes, YouTube and Facebook, and check out all our articles at everblackmedia.com. All right, on with the show.
There we go. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, good, man. Yeah, really good. It's good to hear your voice again, bro.
Good to hear you, homie. Everything's good in your world?
Yeah, it is. How about you guys? I mean, how you guys holding
You
up?
know, a bit crazy right now, obviously, with everything going on. But I mean, we're good. We've actually been since my wife came through cancer last year. We've been quarantined since about January 10.
Oh, dude.
So, I'm ordering my groceries in, this and that. We haven't gone anywhere, had anybody really come over at all. And then obviously with the rioting and everything going on as well, just trying to be home and put out good thoughts that the world comes back to normal, I guess, or not even normal, that the world comes back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, how's she going? Is she okay?
Yeah, she's good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, everything's good. She came through surgeries and multiple appointments after that, and we're all in the clear, which is fantastic. So it's been a little bit hectic, right? I mean, we wrote a double record, came through wildfires that we had to leave the house twice from, that we thought we wouldn't come back home, went through cancer with her, and then, a pandemic, and now riots. It's been a little tumultuous, but I'm always the kind of guy who tries to keep my head on straight, just keep positive, and that's where we've been in our headspace,
It is hard to sometimes. I definitely know, and we're not even in the thick of it here. Don't even
right,
know what to say
right.
or anything. It's just watching it. But I'm glad that to hear that you're keeping positive and everything. Especially how are you jamming with the boys and stuff like that? How are you working around that?
We're not. I have not seen the band since last July or August, actually.
Oh man.
We all talk daily. We're on a group chat.
Yep.
We were just talking about it half an hour ago, actually. Sending photos, but no, and they're kind of keeping away from each other as well. Neil suffers from asthma, as well as do I. And then there's, what Anahstasia came through last year. So there's just a whole lot of, trying to be normal in the middle of weirdness is really what's happening here. But we talk daily, and it's been a really exciting time in Devildriver world now. I mean, releasing this song and having it hit the way that it is, and so many stations jumping on board, and it's just been an incredible ride the last couple weeks since we released. So we talk daily. We have a chat where we go back and forth, and when another radio station gets added or this and that, we all hit each other up, and
awesome.
Yeah, it's been phenomenal. I mean, one thing I can't wait to do is get in a room and jam music and tour. I mean, I can't wait to play in front of people. I made a statement yesterday. I said, look, I pay $5,000 to play in front of people right now. So
yeah,
I think a lot of artists are feeling that right now. There's definitely a void if you're a musician and you can't play in front of people. I mean, what is music if you can't share it, right?
That's right, man. We're going through that now. We've just started jamming again, me and my boys. And,
really?
Oh, dude, it was couldn't put it into words, man. We're just hanging to play the same thing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And normally when we get together, it's like, well, we get together for 2 or 3 days, kick the dust off it, and then go on tour. But I said, hey, next time, before a tour or whatever, let's get together for 2 weeks. Because I just missed the jam.
Yeah.
It's not like let's kick off the dust and go to work. Now it's like let's jam our music. Let's be bros within what we do. So yeah, it's been crazy, but it's been also very rewarding. I wrote "Keep Away From Me" in late 2018 regarding my agoraphobia and how I've been my whole life, which is very difficult to get me out in a crowd of people, to go to, get invited to the Grammy Awards and I don't go, get invited to big parties or, things in Beverly Hills, this and that, and I don't go, or even worse, last minute, as I'm getting dressed, I just sit down and go, I'm not going.
Yeah. I know that one.
So this song was written late 2018, and it really plays into the situation right now. I mean, somebody said to me in an interview the other day, has anything changed for you? And I said, no, not really. I said, are you talking about quarantine? No, nothing's really changed for me. Sorry, that's my Doberman.
My labradoodle's going off. Your Doberman's going off.
I love labradoodle. Hey, come on.
I think they wanted to have a chat.
Yeah. My Doberman is real chatty. I rescued him from Canada, so he came 5,000 miles to be with me. I love him. His name is Piper.
Oh, we got Darcy. Darcy.
Yeah, and labradoodles, man, one of the smartest breeds out there. I love those dogs.
Very naughty. She's very naughty though. She's just worked out how to open doors like a velociraptor. In Jurassic Park, we got those.
You gotta watch
doors.
that.
Man,
oh, you gotta watch that.
She just dates my wife's shoes, so she's in trouble. She's in the naughty bin. But
I got lucky. I got none of those problems with this guy. Yeah, but back to it.
Yeah, that's right.
Back to it. It's been a crazy ride, and what I think is happening now is most of these songs written on this new record that's getting ready to come out are, of course, it's called Dealing with Demons.
Yes.
For me, it was like, I want to get all of this out on the table so I never have to write about these subjects again. Subjects that I've been writing about since the inception of my musical birth, from Cold Chamber till now. I want to move on to different topics. And so each one of these songs explores something that I'm going through or have gone through. And what I'm realizing is, and you've done multiple interviews with me before, and you'll ask me about a song and I'll say, I'll leave it up to the listener. I never really paint a picture of what it's about, but it's important to do that with this record, to paint a picture. And what I'm realizing now is like 99% of the people that are hearing what these songs are about are extremely relating, like, to the topics. So yeah, it's been incredible. I mean, we're number 2 on Devil's Dozen right now, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I know that Triple J's been just spinning the hell out of us, which is incredible as well. I love Hygo over there. He's just a fucking great guy. And, it's been a ride. We haven't put out a real record. When I say that, we obviously did the Outlaws cover record with John Carter Cash and Randy from Lamb of God and Leaving from Fear. I mean, I could go on and on about those guests, but this is the first, like, real record in 4 years for Devildriver. So it's been a lot of welcome back, and you guys didn't miss the mark, which I feel, very strongly about. That no, not only did we not miss the mark, but I think we really hit something. We struck a nerve, and it was part and parcel of me telling the guys, listen, man, like, let's not look back on Devildriver. And anybody who's new here, let's not look back on the sound that has been created. If we all met today, what music would we make? Don't think about what Devildriver is, if it's Coca-Cola or whatever it is as a brand. Think of what we would do if we just met, and that's how this double record came about.
With everything that's been going on, have any of the songs been rewritten or reworked because of the current world situation?
No, not one. No, not one. Excuse me. In the beginning of 2019, this thing was done and in the can and wasn't going to get changed. And it just so happens that I would say 8 or 9 of these tunes on this first volume 1 are critical to what we're all going through as humanity. So,
absolutely.
Premonition, I don't know, but I feel victorious in the fact that I'm striking a nerve with people, and it's coming from my soul. Really, it's coming from my heart. I said about this record, I said, if this was the last thing I did, this double record, I'd be happy. Because I had laid it all on the table. Then I think the band delivered to me the best music they could possibly deliver, which is, in my mind, what I wanted out of them.
And another thing is, like, double albums, I can imagine, can be tricky to put together. I'm guessing, you've got to try and not only get the flow of one record, but you've got 2, and they've got to speak to each other and have that flow, of course. I mean, how is that tackling that huge task?
Well, we overwrote. Yeah. So we left 10 to 15 tunes on the table. And then what happened is we found it, oddly enough, really coming together in the fact where, well, we can't have number one be so good that number two is terrible and number two is full of B-sides. What happened is it really just kind of showed itself what songs are going to go on what volume. And I always say I like the second volume for some people is their favorite. First volume is their favorite. But either way, they're a piece of a puzzle. And you're going to need both of them to finish what Dealing with Demons is. I mean, there's, I would say 19 to 20 songs, definitely 19 to 20 demons I'm getting rid of. So I can move I can move in a different direction lyrically. And I say this to dumb it down, but a more woke direction. And a lot of people say, I get a lot of power out of your words. I get a lot of, thanks, man. You lifted my spirits. And, but what they don't understand is a lot of the topics that I hit, because I'm street, I hit a lot of topics. They take the life out of me. So for me, especially where I'm at in my life, I want to just get rid of all of this and expel it. And that's what Dealing with Demons is about, Volume 1, Volume 2. Getting rid of all this so the further stuff that I do in my career can be elevated both lyrically and in context with where I'm at now in my personal life.
Do you know what? I saw you guys last time in Brisbane, and I've seen you a few times over the years, and last time was definitely different in terms of all this. I could see it, that it was like you're starting a new chapter in your life, and you've kind of even made peace musically with your past, if you know what I mean. And incorporating the Cold Chamber stuff and the Devildriver stuff, it's sort of like it was something's there, man. You can definitely see it from a fan's perspective.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I mean, what was cool is when I told the guys, hey, I'd like to start revisiting one or two Cold Chamber tracks. Like, they were totally down. They're like, oh man, that's what made you, and we'll play the shit out of that music. And I said, all right, let's go. Plus you're dealing with, now I'm seeing everybody like, a lot of artists like, oh, they're getting sober, oh, they're doing yoga, oh, they're starting to meditate. It's like, good for you. 5 years, I want to see everybody moving in a positive place. But I started that movement within myself, 4 to 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's really made my lyrics and everything more it's made my life more complex in a great way. Right? Like, it's been a catalyst to opening up so many beautiful doors, and closing so many negative ones. And that's what this record is about. Like, trying to lift people spiritually and emotionally, through what they may be going through by saying, hey, this is what I go through. So why don't you identify with it? So keep away from me, about agoraphobia. It's like, you go read my feed and it's like, man, I suffer from that too. Or, I can't, it's hard for me to be in a crowd. Or, I don't like walking into spaces where I don't know a ton of people either. And it's like, well, yeah, I was the kid that sat alone at school and ate by myself. My wife, sat alone in the bathroom and ate because she's a redhead, was teased. It's like, there's like this thing that, that you can take from lyrics, and it can grow your life spiritually as a listener, but you don't realize sometimes what it takes it out of the person that's writing it. And so that's why I said, look, the record's going to be called Dealing with Demons. I'm going to deal with all this. I'm going to put it out there. And it's not just going to be like your standard, like, heavy metal, about, Vikings or some shit. It's going to be something street. It's going to be something relatable. And that's what I'm getting right now. A lot of people that are talking to me is like, wow, I really relate to this stuff. And I can't wait to share more songs off of this record and get this record out. And the fact that there's such a long lead time, we're going to be able to drop 3 or 4 singles, which is going to be great for people, because you're going to, then you're going to want to get to the other 6 or 7 songs you haven't heard, because trust me, I'm saving the better for last. It's not like I'm putting just my best foot forward with the first singles. It's going to be par for the course. You're going to want to hear the whole thing.
I'm hanging. I'm so keen, man. Ever since you were talking about last time, I was like, I need to hear it. And then the single dropped, and I've been spinning on the way to work. It's definitely exciting times for you personally. And do you think it also comes with a bit of age and experience and reflection and everything as well? You know what I mean? Like you've hit that time.
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I would think that, first of all, becoming elevated takes a lot of things, right? Like, so I think you have to stop eating animals, right? If you get elevated. Stop drinking alcohol. You become elevated. Start meditating a little so you learn yourself and the surroundings around you. You become elevated. And I think that's what it is more than age. I'm, I was skateboarding all last night. So I'm 20 in my head. And then on stage, I feel the same or even better.
Absolutely.
And I say it in interviews all the time. If you want to go on before us or after us, like, have fun with that. Like, I'm going to, and as soon as I can't take you to the bank on stage, like, I'll quit. So there's something to be said, of course, for age, but I'm just not there yet where I'm like, oh yeah, it's age is playing into this whole thing. No, not really. It's me going, look, how can I even relate harder and have people relate even harder to my music? And this is a kind of watershed moment. Anahstasia read the lyrics for these songs and, kind of looked at me and said, are you okay with this? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you're sharing this is some really personal stuff. I've known you for 25 years. It's sharing some very personal stuff. And I said, yeah, this is what music should be. I'm not the guy who just is going to go listen to a pirate band sing about pirates. It's like, I'm not going to relate. Actually, I do relate. I do relate actually to pirates, but oddly enough. But you get my meaning, and
Absolutely.
I needed to. I think it was very important after 4 years to come back and give people not only what they expected from Devildriver, but over what they expected. And I think the guys did it musically, and hopefully I will do it for them lyrically and vocally.
I think you're definitely on the right path there too. It's exciting times. And during this whole thing, have you been hit up for guest vocal spots and stuff like that? Like, how else have you been keeping busy behind the scenes while you're at home?
I've been working on a lot of things. So obviously we run a management company called The Oracle Management. We have a lot of amazing artists, everybody from Ginger to Cradle of Filth, Devildriver, Wednesday 13, the 69 Eyes. I mean, we got a huge roster. We've also started the Oracle Live, which is a streaming company, and we've got some huge partners in that. We're doing some massive streaming. We've got, I've got exclusives for venues all around the country. So an example would be in Los Angeles, I've got the exclusive to use the whiskey during the pandemic for this and get music back to people, and also put money in bands' hands when they're sitting around with nothing, which is important to me. I think during the Great Depression and things like this that happened, the only people you really remember are the people who give you work and the people who keep your family alive. So I wanted to be one of those people, and we started that company because of that. Yeah. But we run multiple companies. Suncult, which Randy from Lamb of God is a part of, me and my family started, has really gone to the next level now. We've signed with a guy called Putnam, and that's going to get ready to go in stores everywhere in spring of next year. So there's a lot of stuff that's kept me busy, but really I've been focused entirely on what Devildriver is about and what Devildriver is about to do, get ready to release, and touring in 2021 and 2022 as well.
Oh, it's going to be hectic, man. Of course, Australia's got to be on there, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just heard that you guys aren't really letting anybody in right now.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll change next year, but obviously huge market for me. A lot of great friends in Australia, and of course, I mean, and I remember that show in Brisbane that you were talking about. I think what you're seeing is guys enjoying what they're doing, and we're part punk rock, part metal, part goth. Like, we're mixed up to the point of we just don't follow along with what other people are doing, and I think that's why people gravitate towards Devildriver in the first place.
Yep.
We just don't fit in, and I've always been the odd kid out, even in school, and I don't think my music is any different, really. I mean, I woke up this morning listening to Bauhaus, and you know what I mean. This afternoon was listening to the Germs in the pool. So I mean, it's just a crazy scenario where all of these things hit, all at once, and it's not fractured. It actually becomes a solid rock, and people are like, wow, I'm gravitating towards this. So look, I'm really excited to see what's been happening around the song. what's been happening around the release. And I'm really focused on not only this year and getting through this year, but the future, 2021, 2022, etc.
Oh, dude, we're excited. And as soon as that they let people back in, you know what I'd love to see is like maybe even like a Lamb of God. I'm just going to put it out there. Lamb of God, Devildriver, co-headline Aussie tour. Bring your mate Randy. Parties.
Yeah, man. Randy's my mate, man. I mean, look, we have a room here at the house for him.
Oh,
And we
cool.
actually have towels in the shower room with ours on them. So he became part of Suncult, part of our business because he came out here and lived with us for a while and surfed with us and became part of our family. And so it's why we brought him in. And I'd of course love to tour with Lamb of God. I love him, but there is something coming your way.
Oh.
There's a world tour that I've just got together with 4 huge bands, every one of them. And it's going to start in March and April in the United States, and it's going to make its way through. We're not just we're touring over in Australia with this band. We're touring in the UK with this band. No, we put together a world tour with 4 huge acts, and it's going to be going around the world. So, if we can come to you in 2021, we will be there.
Can you drop a few hints?
I wish I could, my man.
Hey,
all I can tell you is this: is from start to finish, you'll all get your money's worth, and that's what I wanted. So I'm touring less, and I'm touring when it makes sense, and it only really makes sense now if we're part of big packaging. No more just kind of coming over and doing our thing. It's got to be a big packaged event, and that's the way that it's going to be in the future.
That's awesome, man. And in regards to the brand Suncult, can we get that down in Australia as yet?
We're getting ready to come to stores near you. Definitely who we signed with is going to put us all through Australia, New Zealand, everywhere. It's getting ready to go worldwide. The deal we just signed is pretty massive. So.
Can you tell me where yet, or is that still under wraps?
No. I mean, look, I know that they're talking to Zoomies and Tilly's and PacSun and all these stores, right? So whatever's near you.
That's awesome, man. Well, Dez, it's always a good time hanging with you, and you always have a way of making people feel awesome for the rest of their day. So I appreciate you taking the time. Dealing with Demons Volume 1 is set for release on October 9. Dude, enjoy the day. Thank you.
Yeah, brother. Thanks for calling me, man. I miss Australia, and I got so many friends down there. I was talking to one of them this morning, actually, and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting ready to start interviews with Australia." He's like, "I can't wait to hear it." So, look, we can't wait to come down. The vibe in the camp is ready, especially after this time off. We're going to be ready. So everybody just thanks for following, and thanks for supporting us throughout the years. I really appreciate it, man.
We're ready. Enjoy your day, dude. Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, brother. Take care.